In part 5 of this series on Tantra psychology, I talked about the process of training attention as a necessary step in the process of enlightenment. And that one of the major ways that is done is through meditation, this yogic kind of meditation, in which this ascetic meditation, where the external senses, the five senses, are quieted by sitting very still, preferably in a fairly quiet place where you won't be disturbed, and where you can sit without moving for the duration of your practice period. Then the internal senses are also largely quieted by the process of visualization, whereby instead of saying don't think of anything, you fix your attention or direct your attention, or as one tantric Buddhist put it, and I like it very much, and so I use it a lot because it's a very apt way of thinking about the process of meditation, is allow your attention to rest. Place your attention on the object of meditation, in this case a deity, and allow it to rest there. Very nice. And in doing this, why? Well, this process, by intentionally choosing a single thought, you automatically eliminate most of the thoughts. Of course, the mind is always generating thoughts. It's what mind is. It's this mind and thought generator. But by exercising what little free will that we have of choice, by choosing to direct our attention for as long as we can to one object, the other thoughts, extraneous in this case thoughts, get largely eliminated, and that one thought becomes dominant. As it does, then you start to penetrate the layers of what it is, what's behind the thought. Now, why a deity? Why meditate on a deity? Why not meditate on a rose or on a star or something like that, or even a flame? These are all possible to meditate on because this yogic process, this yogic technique of picking a single object, is simply just choosing one thing to think about. However, deities have been used in Tantra quite successfully for at least 1,500 years, if not longer, as a very practical way of making a shift in identity from this phenomenal organism, this process of various mental and physical functions that we think of as our individual self, or limited individual self, toward the experience of infinite being, of infinite consciousness. It seems like a huge leap to go from, John Smith, who lives in Hoboken, New Jersey, and who drives a truck, and he thinks of himself as a fan of a particular football team, etc. From that to infinite consciousness is a huge leap, right? So that's true for all of us, to go from whatever limited concept we've had of ourselves from birth, maybe from infinite births, as metaphysics would suggest. So it's not so easy just to leap to the roof of infinite consciousness from where we are. And Tantra, being, if nothing else, extremely practical, says you do need not leap from the roof, from the ground. You would be better served to climb the stairs. And the stairs, as it were, in this metaphor, is the deity, is the concept of deity. So how does that arise? How does the deity arise from this interaction of infinite consciousness and our personality? Well, Swami Vivekananda says that God, goddess, is the best understanding of the infinite filtered through our personality, our individual personality. So when we view the infinite from the perspective of our own body-mind processes, body-mind identity, this individual identity, the most accurate reading of the infinite is God, goddess, deity. So, does it matter what deity? Tantra would say only a little bit. It's not that one deity is right and the others are wrong. It's that some deities, or one deity, is going to be more appealing to your mind than others. Now, Tantra famously deals with desire and utilizes desire, what we want, and to get us to where we really need to be, which is in sharp contrast to ascetic systems that say, oh, anything you want is bad. You need to give up all that desire and stuff and just focus in one direction. But Tantra says, no, not so fast. Desire is a powerful force of motivation in human being, and it need not be spiritually destructive. It can be, certainly. Desire is that force that drags us like those five horses of the senses here and there, or drives those horses, as it were. But if that power, that energy of desire, is directed toward the infinite in the personification of a deity, then desire can take us very quickly toward the realization of that deity and what is behind the deity, the infinite consciousness. So, also, another reason why an anthropomorphic deity is preferable in many cases, and if not most cases, is that we can identify with a being that has the same physical characteristics that we have, the five senses, hands, feet, and so on. Now, some deities have multiple hands. No problem. That's not such an odd concept if you realize that it just indicates that metaphorically that the being has powers beyond the ordinary. So it's fine and good and accurate to think that the deity has great power, maybe infinite power and infinite wisdom and infinite love and all kinds of good qualities that we like to think of as deities having in Hinduism and Tantra and specifically, deities tend to have a dual nature, of, or a unified nature, I should say, a non-dual nature, where what normally is considered beneficent and kind and so on is balanced with also destruction and kind of frightening aspects, and they are blended into one being. So that way you don't have a psyche split between good and evil. You have one being that manifests as all the world and all of its various aspects. No one to blame, and no one to praise particularly. It's just the nature of the universe to manifest this way. And the deity then is a stepping stone between our individual experience and the supreme experience. So having a deity we can identify with easily makes this meditational process more effective by meditating on a deity that appeals to our heart and minds, and identifying with that deity in its personality. We can move beyond our individual personality into an expanded personality as a stepping stone toward infinite consciousness.